This guy knows his shit.
I mean, what? Gotta get myself a fucking bill. Idea doesn't mean anything until you go ahead and you work on it. And that's something I've learned because
Welcome to Movified. I'm your host, Mark Hirschi, with Salmon's Moving and Storage, located in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. We are not in BC today. We are out in Arizona at the Movers and Shakers event. This was day 2. This is the finale. And guess what? If you're watching this video and you're looking at this background, that's right. Movified has taken over the 1%er podcast because we are that 1% in Andy Elliott's Lion's Den studio. And I have my fellow Canadian, Harry, with Last Stop Moving out in Edmonton, Alberta. You know what? I can't sometimes always be the token Canadian that coming out to these kind of events. It's always nice to have a fellow Canadian. What's up? How are you, Harry?
doing excellent, Mark. It was a pleasure to give you some company as a fellow Canadian, one or two, out here in Phoenix, holding it down.
It was great. It was actually one of the things we chatted about. We're like, did you vote before we left for this retreat? You know, things are happening back in Canada for those Americans listening. You know, we have a new prime minister. That prime minister is like your president, that's in charge of Canada. And we're not exactly too thrilled about what's happening, but, this podcast isn't about Canadian politics, so don't you worry. This is about really kind of getting to know Harry because, as he said coming on here, he goes, I think I'm like the third Edmonton moving company out of Alberta, which is the next province over from British Columbia. That gives you some learning, geography for those Americans listening. But in Edmonton, we have, Eager Beavers. Shout out to John Watson. We got Tony Singh with Yeg Moving and Storage out there as well, too. But, you still want to be that hometown dominator. And I find that, every time I talk to Harry, this guy knows his shit. You want to know the competitions that's out there. Talk to someone like Harry and he's like, oh, no. Like, I already have studied this. I already know what's going on here. He is coming in as this young entrepreneur that is killing it in the game. I mean, give me a little bit about your, give me some origin experience here. Like what you remind me of the moving company owner that said to me once, he goes, Mark, you're a pre-boy. You shouldn't be moving. You don't look like a guy that's like a moving company owner. I feel like you should be working at like an IT company and creating your own app for us movers to be using it. So tell me, Harry, like what got you into the moving industry? How many trucks are you running right now? Like, I'm going to fill you with a bunch of questions. So like, let's swing it out here.
We started, the company was incorporated in August of 2020, but we did our first move in January of 2022. And then when the company was started, my dad started it for me. Because I was like 17 at the time.
Gotcha.
Just as something like, hey, you'll use it when you need it. And then right now we're up to, so we've been in business 3 years. We've got 6 trucks. In all honesty, about 4 running right now. Okay, the summer we'll get all 6 out, maybe 10, sure. And then the way I got into it is through commercial real estate. So out of high school, I was interning at a commercial real estate brokerage. I was an unlicensed assistant because I was working there when I was 17. You got to make these 18 to get the license. And out of high school, that's the path that I planned out for myself. I was going to be in commercial real estate. I was going to be that broker, selling the big land deals and warehouses. And as I was working there, I got to see that the people that were making the most fit, sure, the transactional brokers were making good money, but the landlords were ultimately the people that were buying, that, the buildings were being sold to. And then the people that were selling the buildings were then making the good money. And I said, man, you know what? I'm going to get myself a fucking building. And in that, the best way that I thought about going for it was, if you have the business that occupies the real estate, you can incur significant wealth. And then we'd have some family friends that had success in franchising. And I just went on the internet, franchises for sale, clicked on the first link, I think like Franchise Monster or something like that.
Okay.
And it just so happened like a moving company was in the first spot, like they'd sponsored to show up there. I said, you once before. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, you know what is a moving company? Let's go in. So I went down the path with them. Like, we never used a moving company. I didn't know sure they were, just completely unbeknownst to me. We went down the path and I was close to signing on with them. And then I had to sit down with my dad and he said, you know what, son, like, I don't think they're going to offer you that much value. You should really just go out on your own and, learn the whole thing yourself. So I did go to university for 1 semester. And then by the time that semester was finishing up, I got a job with their moving company. I worked there for like a month or stuff. And then I learned some things, had to learn a lot. What was that moving company called? The transport guys. He was a really great guy, and I learned a lot there. But after that,
If you're considering Snowball, just do it.
Snowball creates done-for-you referral programs for moving companies so you can turn happy customers into new revenue without lifting a finger. And the results speak for themselves.
In less than a year, we've collected over 2,000 referrals.
We generated over $200,000 of revenue that cost about $5,000 to do it.
I believe we had 4 or 5 the very first day.
The companies winning with Snowball are the ones that already care about their customers. We just help turn that into new business through human outreach and customer nurturing.
Snowball is part of the arsenal of tools that I recommend to my clients because it works.
Being found on the second page of Google is literally like having a billboard in the middle of the desert. Your mama ain't gonna see it. No one's gonna see it. You're on the second page of Google, no one's gonna call, no one's gonna book. Here is the deal. If your business is not ranking on the top of Google, that means your competitors are going to be stealing your customers every single day. So at Rotate Digital, we don't play any guessing games. We use data-driven SEO strategies to make sure Google finds you first so that these Google searches turn into your customers, not your competitors' customers. How do we do it? We do it through AI-driven keyword optimization, exclusive blog networks, backlinking strategies, and honestly, the secret stuff, the proprietary lead attribution software. So what do you get as a result? You get not only good marketing, but now you get clarity into what is bringing you more revenue. So if that's something you want to do, you want to make sure your leads find you and not your competition, go ahead and go to rotatedigital.com, schedule a call, and we'll help you take your business to the top of Google.
but he figured out I had my own company. And while I was working there, like I had my own website, like I was ordering my ride, already ordered my own.
Oh, we don't like guys like you. Yeah, we get it. We get it. So somehow that pad keeps going missing, one pad after another pad from the digital. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, and that's one thing like he did accuse me of, but I'm very honest. I never lied or stolen or anything like that from people, and I'm really respectful of my competition. And then I did my first job, my second one after that, and then I'd already bought a truck, but you know, just like any companies, that truck blew up. And then like I'm loading my pickup truck full of blankets and dollies and slinging U-Hauls to get the jobs that we booked done. And then I got another truck after that, another after that. And my growth, like it's all been organic. I've not taken anything out of the business. Don't have any debt.
In that organic growth, what is something that you could share that has been successful for you that other moving companies are not doing?
One thing that's been really helpful for us is direct mail.
Right.
In Canada, it was like a thing, no stuff. I'll get out. You don't get the data. You don't get anything like that. And originally, when I started off, I joined the Facebook groups, and everyone was saying like, "Hey, direct mails, all that, all that." I tried it out, and I was like, "Man, this thing doesn't work." I sent like 1,000 postcards. My design was just whack. So I do honestly feel like if I just stuck with that in the first year, I would have been double, triple book, whatever. Like it taught me a lot, and direct mail has been a huge help for us now. And then also affiliates, because I was just never confident enough to go talk to realtors or anything like that. In my past life, like we made so many cold calls because when I was working there, I'd like crank 200 of those in a day.
Sure.
So we've started with that again, going and getting affiliates. But it's a lot of it is also setting the standard, right? Because I find a lot of guys when they're early on in the business, and I was guilty of this as well, I'm hiring my friends. Because I think, oh, like you're my friend, like we can do it, move. And those friends had no business getting behind the big trucks and then, moving dressers. So I learned a lot in that sense that, you set the standard and everyone has to hold it.
Where do you see yourself? Like if you look back now over the last 3 years, what would have been something that you would have wanted to change? Like if you could go back and be like, man, I wish I'd have just done this right from the beginning. I mean, you mentioned the direct mail and hiring your friends, which are two big, direct mail, 100%. Friends, big no-no. What would be something on the business side of things that you would have wished that you'd have done differently?
I think the one thing I wish I would have done differently is just like execute. Because I'm all for ideas and I want things to be 100%. And then, okay, we got this all laid out. This is the plan. Let's go ahead and do it. But then just like that firing from the hip, because I have all these ideas and, ideas are a dime a dozen. Idea doesn't mean anything until you go ahead and you work on it. And that's something I've learned because a lot of the things that maybe I think of or, come up with, I see those opportunities being taken away, or I go to it, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be late to the party. So if from earlier I'd had that instilled in me that, hey, you know what, doesn't matter. You think of something, just do it. Don't worry too much about, oh, I got to write this perfect document out. I got to delegate it. I've got to do this or that. It's just about in the early stages, just getting out and doing.
Gotcha. I love that. It really is. I mean, it's one of those things when as a business owner, there are those that are, the idea guys, right? And we hear about these books and we know who, the status, you have the dreamers, you have the, the ones that really want to, they're the ideas, right? I'm definitely one of those guys that just loves coming with new ideas, new ways to run the business, how we can do this, what we can do. But then I need my team to be the delegators, right? Because I am probably the worst. I'll be like, I'd rather just do it myself than delegate it out. I have to make sure that I have those that can take it, make it into an action item, and then implement it, or it's just going to go nowhere. So it's so important for that. Now, obviously, we are here. I said, we're sitting here, which is super cool, in the Lion's Den. We just came off day 2 for the Movers and Shakers event that was put together by Austin Yarbrough. If you're not following Austin on social media, I mean, he's been on my podcast. He has really blown up. He, it's one of those funny things because we talk about leadership. We talk about,
are you a mover looking to make an impact? Discover Moving Letters AI and join the ML Plus Club today. Elevate your customer engagement with the personal touch of handwritten letters.
You want to take your company to that next level? It's the only way to subscribe. If you're doing anything but Moving Letters AI, you need to get on it. So it's going to take your business to that next level. You're going to see an increase in that revenue. Let's go.
I highly recommend using this company. They're amazing to work with. They even send you an email on how much work they're producing for you.
Don't miss out. Join the revolution and start making moves that matter.
Put a golden damn ticket in there with Moving Letters AI.
It was one of the things that me and Austin talked about yesterday. And he said to me, leaving day 1, he said, when I'm talking and I'm speaking in front of everybody, I 100% believe in what I am saying and what I'm producing out there. And a lot of us hold ourselves back going like, but I'm not 100% confident in what I'm saying, whether it's teaching them how to wrap furniture, because you're like, oh, maybe someone else can do it better, right? Maybe it's just like learning the CRM system they're using. Maybe it's the accounting. Maybe it's just managing the team. You're like, well, someone else can do it better. You need to believe in what you're doing. You also then need to take the time to learn it. Austin is someone that has 100%, put that time in to learn himself, right? He has invested in himself and now wants to share and spread it. We're coming off day 2. Harry, before we finish this off, what was like an action item? What is something that you A, learned from the event, and B, what is something that you want to now implement moving forward?
Yeah. Well, in the event, we had a lot of great speakers and they definitely came up with some main ideas, but, it just went ahead and reinforced something for me that, originally when I started this business, it was all about me. Okay. I want to get this building. I want to, build real estate and all of that. Later on, recently I've really looked at it and, for myself, I'm blessed with lots of other things in my life. The moving company doesn't necessarily need to be like my one thing, my legacy or anything like that. It was the business that taught me business. It taught me finance and accounting and HR. There's so much that goes to it other than just moving furniture from point A to B. And I just come to the realization that, that there's got to be something else that you do it for. And I'm still pretty young. I don't have a family or kids or anything like that. That I'm doing it for all the time in the world. Well, time goes by when you're having fun.
That's right.
But I really think about like, who am I doing it for? And it always just goes back to my team. Because sure, those friends that were with me earlier on, they aren't at the company anymore, right? But the people that are there are people that I've hand selected. I've hand molded. They're not the mover that's been doing it for 40 years. There's somebody, that works really hard, somebody that didn't go to school, maybe English is like their third language, whatever it is, but they're a hard worker. And Last Stop Moving, it's a conduit, not for myself, right? I do it for my employees because I want to give the chance for somebody that Canada's big on immigration, and I immigrated to the country along with my family. You know, people that come here that are willing to just work hard, the Canadian dream, and give them a chance to buy a home, right? Like, that's the thing. I had this one mover. He started off just as a mover, couldn't speak English, nothing like that, but he worked so hard. Like, he worked out circles around anybody, right? He was jogging in and out of the truck, etc. And then slowly he became a driver, a foreman, and then we're working on, you know, in the next couple of years, him buying his first house. And that's what I want to do, give chances to the people that didn't have a chance before, and give them an opportunity to have their dreams come true, because that's what makes me really happy.
I love that.
When I see, you know, the movers get the big fat checks, and
Sure.
the salespeople as well. So last time moving, it isn't for me, it's for my team. And I think that's a takeaway that I have from here. And I'm going to go back. And I'm going to go ahead and tell them, like, hey guys, here's the deal. Like, I haven't been everything that I need to be to lead you guys to where we're going to go. And that's the thing, not where I'm going to go, where we're going to go together, right? And everything else is just a byproduct. We go ahead, and if I'm there and they're seeing Harry's like working out, all of a sudden, you know, he's got this energy, like, what's up with this guy? He's always there with us. The customers will start feeling it. Sure. Right. You'll
It's a domino effect.
Exactly. And that's one of the things, like, we give the guys a domino. So if somebody's late, right, you give them a domino, because see, you being late, okay, if we were late to the job, maybe somebody had plans, and then maybe, you know, they had plans for something else, and that can dominate into something else. So that's one of our tokens.
I like that. I like that. That's great. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, listen, Harry, it's been awesome having you on the podcast. I am so excited that we finally got to meet in person, even though we are just one province over. We've talked on the phone, we've chatted, we've seen each other, you know, on live streams, on training videos, and it's been great to share this experience with you for the Movers and Shakers event. I know we're definitely going to have a part 2 with this, and a follow-up to kind of deep dive you maybe after the summer, and see if you guys that 10 trucks and you got all 6 going, because it's definitely going to happen for you.
A province is a state, by the way.
That's right. For those are, yeah, we totally get it. But for all those that are listening and watching,
moving isn't just about boxes, it's about new beginnings. At Salmon's Moving and Storage, we've been delivering peace of mind for over 100 years. From local moves to cross-country relocations, our team treats your move like it's our own, because your story matters. Trusted by generations and powered by care, precision, and people who get it right the first time. Salmon's Moving and Storage. Moving you forward since 1913. Book your move today at salmonsmoving.com.
thank you so much. Please subscribe, like, share your comments of, you know, what has worked well for you in the first couple of years. Are you doing a trick like the domino effect? What are you doing to those movers that are running behind, that, you know, might be holding the team back, that might be holding your staff back? Maybe you as the owner need that domino because you're holding yourself back. And you don't want to have that domino effect on the rest of your team. Share it in your comments. Reach out to us. You can always DM me. I'd love to talk to other moving company owners. Feel free to always reach out, and stay Movified, everybody. Thank you so much. And this is coming from the Lion's Den. Let's go, Harry. Let's go. All right. Have a good night, guys.